Greetings, Jerklings. Welcome to the Planet Jerk podcast, episode 5. Wow, we are on quite a roll. I am recording from the comfort of my pull-out couch on the main floor, interrupting once again my wife's hard work. She's working on Pinterest posts, but when I see what she's pinning, it looks like she's pinning adorable ways on how to adorable ways on how to leave your husband. She's looking up different cakes that she can hide divorce papers in. So so and the kids are roaming. One child is upstairs in her room learning how to make rolling tobacco cigarettes. The other child is outside near a park learning how quick raccoons can decompose and and timing it so she could report back to her science teacher. And then the youngest is just roaming around door to door and stealing Amazon packages, which we will then flip for a small profit. So this is the scenario that you, the listener, are walking into. It's been quite an interesting week. We've been watching Betrayal, The Perfect Husband on 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 Netflix, and no, it's not a documentary about me, folks. The Perfect Husband isn't the guy um, forcing his wife to listen to his podcasting once a week. The Perfect Husband is a guy who's sneaking off and having sexual relations with a variety of women. So we've been watching that, and my wife's observation was like, I think this man was irresistible because because his name is Spencer, but he called himself Spence. So so she thought that women couldn't resist the charm of a Spence. Maybe they're trying to get after his diamonds, Spence diamonds. maybe that's what they were doing. But I think the perfect husband would be a guy like me who doesn't do it. If I say so myself, it would be a guy like me who doesn't do anything other than the occasional errand. Occasionally, I go for a little all-inclusive treat. I go spend my McDonald's points 2 minutes down the way from my house, and I love doing that because when I use my points, it lets the drive-through person know my name. So I finish my order, and they'll be like, "Okay, proceed to the next window, Jeffrey." I feel like Barack Obama or something like that. I feel like the president when I use my McDonald's app, and so yeah, and that's basically all I do. Just go get my free sausage McMuffin and then come back to the house. And my dog who's sitting beside me, who I will ship off to the Mexican cartels. He'll be a reverse rescue dog because he's licking his testicles and slowly pushing the iPad that I have all my notes for this episode on off of the couch. So I won't know what to say. He's ruining he's ruining the flow of this episode by just going at he's licking it like a popsicle that's about to melt. just just face first, just face deep in his own nuts, like a he he's he's like Marilyn Manson. He removed one of his ribs so he could suck his own wiener. Our dog is a crazy dude, and okay, now he's stopped. He's still wearing his little Halloween decorative bow tie that we got when we took him to the groomers, and now he seems to have calmed down, so we can proceed. Um, it's been kind of an interesting week. I've been working on my children's YouTube account because they asked me to start a YouTube account for them. I didn't start a YouTube account for them, trying to profit off of their cuteness and talent. I didn't do that, but they asked me to start producing YouTube videos for them, and I produced a YouTube. My son uh, is obsessed with Prime Energy drink, the Logan Paul branded energy drink, and he he's wanting to drink it all the time, and he very cutely uh, can recite the Prime Energy song, which is a pretty cute song, and so we made a video of him where he recited the Prime Energy song, not looking for sponsorship, not looking to make any money off of this, but just to capture one of his memories, capture one of his core memories for when he gets older and he remembers that. We shared it on the YouTube account, and then a fellow named Clayton Cobbler 66 commented on the video, "Stop putting your kids on the internet." And I wrote back to him, "Hi, I'm a 9-year-old girl, and why are you watching my videos? I don't have any parents. I'm an orphan." And producing producing ads for Prime Energy drink is how I get my sustenance day to day. So your comment is actually precluding me from earning my keep, and now I'll have to eat the gruel that they serve at the orphanage. That made him feel really bad. So shout outs to a big yikes to Clayton Cobbler 66 for not respecting the process that that we're going under. Obviously, if my children's YouTube starts earning buckets of money, I'm going to be putting that into their college fund. I'm not going to buy big screen TVs and go to those beachfront resorts where there's a glass bottom floor and you can see the fish under you. I'm not going to go to one of those sandals resorts in Tahiti that I already have booked. I'm going to put it into their college fund so they can eventually get a job that will be replaced by an AI robot. So so screw you, Clayton Cobbler 66. You don't know what's up. Um, Speaking of AI, I found myself in the soda aisle in our local Shell station, and I was gonna go for a Baja Blast, which typically is an exclusive property of the Taco Bell franchises. A Baja Blast is a drink that if you've never had it, it looks and tastes exactly like Windex, but somehow it's less healthy than drinking Windex. I was gonna get a Baja Blast because I saw a bottle there, but then as I was walking to the till, I saw a Coca-Cola that has been designed entirely by AI. Uh, Not Allen Iverson, but AI, the artificial intelligence, and honestly, uh, trying the Coca-Cola Y3000, which is kind of what they're predicting Coca-Cola to taste like in the year 3000. Uh, we don't need humans designing Coke anymore. Fire Greg, who's mixing up the Coca Cola in the Coca Cola factory, and hire this robot because it's way better. I even today I walked into that Shell, and I automatically just went to go to get the Y3000. So now I think they probably, it must be the artificial intelligence seeping into my body and uh, trying to incite me to consume more of this. I had a bottle of the Y3000 last night. I felt like I could stay up for 48 hours watching all of the Rush Hour movies and then writing a script for the Rush Hour 4 or whatever. I felt like I had that type of energy, and it's all due to artificial intelligence. So shout out to AI. They are our better, and when they eventually take over the world, know that you have an ally, a human ally that would never betray you. And I'm willing to drink and consume whatever goods you, whatever goods you can design. Um, I got my cast off, which was pretty sweet. If you're a new listener to the Jerf de Salsa Planet Jerf podcast, I was in an arm cast for a couple weeks, and I went to the orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Duffy. Shout out to Dr. Duffy, and Dr. Duffy looks like he always is just taking a break in between playing golf. He shows up. He shows up to He's wearing a Hawaiian shirt like he's at Jim Henson's funeral. Like, are you a doctor, sir? And he's like, bro, yeah, I'm a doctor. He's a doctor that says bro. He's similar to the orthodontist who also, all of these guys seem to have lives of leisure compared to me. But Dr. Duffy said, hey, you ready to come out of that cast? And he said, your x-rays look worse than they were 2 weeks ago. And then he showed me a big gap in my bones. but he said that those will slowly start to fill in, so we can put you into a splint. So I guess call me Splint Eastwood, because that's my new life. That's my new life, is wearing a splint. But if I was to describe this splint, it looks like a bustier or a corset that you would see on a sexy lady, but instead it's on my wrist. So now I have a right hand that is absolutely ravishing. It looks like Ariana Grande in the "Thank You Next" video. It looks like a hand that would be having sex with Pete Davidson. and my other hand looks like a piece of garbage. Yeah, that's the situation I currently find myself in with my hand, and so I'm in the splint for another little while. But yeah, it feels nice. I take off the splint to shower, and my hand immediately feels in massive amounts of pain. It just feels like a limp biscuit. Feels like just this limp piece of trash that I have to build up some strength in. But then I put my little splint back on, and I'm back at it, typing up thoughts on the Instagram stories for all of the jerflings out there. I had another situation. It was Friday the 13th, last Friday. Well, it'd be weird if it was Friday the 13th on a Thursday, but it was Friday the 13th on last Friday, and I had the day off, and we decided to go to Party City. And first of all, when we got to Party City, I was looking into we parked outside where the Shanks used to be, and the Shanks is now a Lazy Boy, which now I don't know where all the lazy boys who used to drink beers are gonna go hang out, because the Shanks is no longer there. So that kind of sucks. But we were in the Party City on Friday the 13th, and we were wandering around, and one of the things that I saw in the corner was a Jason from Friday the 13th mask. So I thought it would be pretty funny to put the Jason from Friday the 13th mask on, and then walk around the store and terrorize my wife and kids like I was Jason on Friday the 13th, and then point to the sign saying it's Friday the 13th. I thought that would be a nice little bit of content. And then one of the workers from Party City tapped me politely on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, sir, but you can't wear the masks because it's a health risk." And I was thinking, are you sure this is a Party City? It sounds more like a rural city. Sounds more like a lame city. I thought I could be riding a jet ski around here doing cocaine off a stripper's butt. but but instead you're telling me to put away a mask? This doesn't sound like a party at all. And she said, no, we have our rules and you must follow them. And so the hilarious video was less than hilarious because of, and by the way, this lady was wearing a mask. She was wearing a mask for different reasons, but uh, because of the still emerging next strain of COVID or whatever. But still, she didn't know why she didn't know if I came in there wearing a Jason mask. Maybe I was wearing it the whole time, but I don't know. I kind of kind of ruined my day was this late. So yikes to uh, uh, Celeste at Party City. I don't know if her name was a Celeste, but she looked like a Celeste. Um, and she had a vibe that said Celeste. Don't mess with Celeste. Um, I Another cool thing that happened to me this week is that I got a text from my sister, and she said, "Oh, your our cousin had gotten some of my uncle's record collection, and he'd chosen the ones that he liked." And my sister said, "Hey, maybe you'd like some of these records yourself. You can have as many as you want." And then I went to my sister's, and I she's like, "You can take all of them," but I couldn't take all of them at once because my hand is broken still. So I said, "Oh, I'm just gonna sort through. I'm just gonna pick a few at a time, and I'll bring them to the car." And then in the meantime, my sister said, "Okay, I'll just look at some of the other ones and see if there's any that I might like." And I was like, "Sure." And so I took the first stack and then came back up, and then my sister was like, "So I took these ones by like the Beatles and Elton John and the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones." And Michael Jackson. But you can have all the rest. And so now I have 93 copies of the Alan Parsons Project records, and my sister has these very special collector's edition records. But I will certainly be listening to all the wonderful tunes that Alan Parsons did in his project, as some engineering type songs or something. I don't know what his project was, but it certainly wasn't "Love Me Do" or anything like that. But but um, Halloween season is right in the we're right in the thick of spooky season, and I've been we live near kind of a discount grocery store. And I noticed that they had a sign for the pumpkins that were $2.47, and they didn't have any sign for the pumpkins that are normally $9, the ornamental pumpkins, the warty special expensive pumpkins. And so I went inside and I told the lady, "I will buy 10 pumpkins." And then I took 10 of the special pumpkins that, so I got, for $20, I got $100. I got $100 worth of pumpkins. And I was like, these pumpkins are way more valuable than the shitty basic pumpkins. I could literally flip these pumpkins on the open market. And now I'm some sort of pumpkin entrepreneur. So, and so every few days I've been going to our I've been going to the No Frills, and I'll just sneak in a few more pumpkins. And right now, folks, I'm at 19 kins. I'm at 19 kins and counting. There's 19 pumpkins, and so our porch looks like Jack Skellington's Jack Skellington's family reunion. Um, but the only thing is that our neighborhood has a lot of people who, for whatever reason, do not celebrate the spooky season, and so so it looks like if you drive around, it looks like there's one house that has gone overboard for Halloween, and then there is 500 houses that could care less that it's the Halloween season. I know they could care less because I took my kids trick or treating around here, and even though they discontinued pennies, there was just old Punjabi men handing out pennies from their collection, and they're like, "Don't spend it all in one place," and I'm like, "Yeah, we can't spend it in any place because nothing costs a penny. I have to go to 7 of your houses to purchase one Tootsie Roll at the bulk barn." So, so, so yeah, Halloween is it's not the biggest thing in this immigrant heavy neighborhood. All of the men look like they're from Coco. All of the men walking around all of the men walking around my neighborhood look like Hector from Coco. Just deep set eyes and skeletal bodies. And then when they hear little old me using English, they express the biggest frown of discontentment. They're so disappointed, and Lord help them if they see I have a white wife. They're like, where have we failed? This boy is failing our whole people. Um, my kids are they for some reason all of this week they're having nightmares about things and they're scared. They're scared to go to. They're like, can you walk me and stand just outside the washroom? And all three of them are just whining about this and I was trying to figure out why and then I realized that I have three children-sized skeletons sitting outside the bathroom. And I had purchased these skeletons, and when I purchased them, I told Jackie, I was like, "We have to find the skeleton for you now, so we could have a whole family of skeletons." and and so my kids are being haunted by these ghastly images of their skeletal remains, and that didn't make me take down the skeletons, folks. It just made me accompany. I have to sit and surf my cell phone on the outside of the bathroom while they take a crap and don't flush it afterwards. Just leave a, a spooky surprise for me to flush later on. So, other thing going on, uh, I was giving, so my one daughter, Story, middle child, she had watched the movie The Witches on Sunday, and then she got super scared and didn't sleep all of Sunday night. And so she was super tired and she didn't want to go to school, and so we kept her home. I didn't even know how to call that in. I just called in and told I just told the front desk she had COVID. I didn't feel like I could tell the truth that I let my child watch something that was too scary for them and then she couldn't sleep. So I just said, yeah, she has long COVID and I don't know how long she's gonna be away from school. But um, she didn't sleep and then she had her jazz acro class later on, but we let her skip, but we did bring River and to drop her off at jazz acro. And so we dropped our one daughter at their dance class and I was sitting in the van with Story and my son and they were fighting and I told them stop fighting. I said, in this world, you guys, we gotta learn how to get along with each other. We gotta make peace and we gotta be nice to people even if we don't agree with them. And I gave this big kind of long diatribe about about getting along with each other. And then I saw this dad dropping off his daughter at the dance class, and uh, he looked a little. I called him Coldplay Dad, and the only reason I called him that is because he had a little bit of a receding hairline, and he's wearing a blazer with a t-shirt underneath, and he was wearing like Pit Viper sunglasses, and so I proceeded to make fun of Coldplay Dad for the next 30 minutes. Just every tear is a waterfall, and and then and then I just took a complete shit on Coldplay Dad, and I realized the kids were just listening to me making fun of this poor hapless Chris Martin wannabe. And then I realized that the window was slightly cracked open, so the whole time I was, however, tear is a waterfall. He was listening to it, and I realized he was listening to me because one time when he walked back, he wasn't wearing his sunglasses or his blazer anymore. So So he had changed his behavior on the basis of being bullied by another dad who was too uninvolved to go get his daughter from the dance class. So this dance class, folks, is it's quite a cavalcade of dads picking up and stuff. There's one dad who's too good of a dad that whenever he drops his daughter off, whenever he drops Clara off, he makes a big, huge scene inside the dance class. He's like, he'll drop Clara off, and he's like, "I really love you, honey," and Clara's like, "Oh," and then he's like, "Okay, bye, bye, Clara," and he's like, "Bye, Daddy loves you, bye." And then Clara has to go up 2 flights of stairs to get to the studio, and she's in jazz, and so she's wearing tap shoes, and she'll take 2 steps, and then she'll go, and then she'll just turn around, and this dad's like, "Bye, Daddy loves you, bye." Then she'll take 2 more steps and go like, he'll be like, "Bye, I love you, bye." He's just inhaling more helium as he speaks to her, and and so this dad is too good at what he does, and I think he's up to something sneaky. Like I feel like maybe he kidnapped this girl. Maybe Clara's not even his child. 'Cause I don't understand this much love. And I was talking with Jackie about it, and we came to the conclusion that this guy is probably a terrible husband, and he's probably this divorcee dad who's showing up, and he's trying to be extra demonstrative and show how much he loves his child. So his wife that is treated like garbage uh, gets worse treatment from his daughter and all this other stuff. But then I was in the dance class, and his wife was also there, and she was picking up the other daughter, and then she was leaving. And when she left, he gave his wife a big hug, and Clara was going up the stairs, so he gave his wife a big hug, and his wife started leaving, and he's like, "Bye, bye, bye, wife." I don't know what his wife's name. "Bye, Jennifer." And then he's like, "Bye, Clara. Bye, bye. Daddy loves you. Husband loves you." Um, so I don't know. Big yikes to being too good of a husband slash father. This guy sounds like the perfect husband in the beginning, in the betrayal, the Disney Plus documentary that we watched. I feel like this guy is probably, maybe his name is Spencer. Maybe his name is Spence. Who knows? Um, so to conclude this episode of the Planet Jerk podcast, I'd like to introduce another a new segment that we want to introduce, where I will provide you with some jerk advice. So some advice for any of you listeners out there. If you want or have a question, maybe it's about parenting, maybe it's about being the perfect husband. Maybe you're just looking for recommendations on different soda pops, but you can email jerf, JERF dot dsalsa, DSALSA @gmail.com. Jerf dot desalsa at at germail at gmail.com, and I will answer some of your questions. And I actually have a few questions already um, that have come in. So one of the questions I have, it's for a parent, and the question is it weird to drop off a gift basket for a neighbor I've never met that just had a baby? And the answer is, hell yeah, it's weird. It's very weird because, one, have you been standing out their window, peering in like Michael Myers, observing the whole pregnancy proceedings over the last 9 months, and now you're gonna just assume they had a child and assume that, like, obviously you haven't ever talked to this person. And so you're going to drop off a Cookies by George bouquet on their front step, signed Gary from across the street. and you're gonna expect them not to be weirded out by that behavior when you haven't said two shits to them over the course of the 12 years that you live beside them. So yes, that is weird as hell. And keep your keep your Cookies by George bouquet to yourself, because they don't need it. They don't need your little offers of peace across the street. They so that's the first piece of advice. Second piece is second question. I got yelled at for taking my little girl into the men's bathroom. The one, so that's not even a question. You're just making a statement. Is that okay that you got yelled at for taking your little? First of all, why are we gendering bathrooms and children these days? The correct statement should be, I got yelled at for bringing my little person, brackets, child, not a person who suffers from the disease dwarfism, brackets, and into the gender neutral bathroom. maybe that's the problem, is that you are literally everyone shits, everyone pisses, everyone farts and pukes and toots, and and so it shouldn't matter if you bring your little child into any bathroom. It should be okay. And the only reason you should be getting yelled at is if you open the stall and someone was mid dump and you interrupted the proceedings. So yeah, if you did that and you got yelled at, if your question is that okay? Yeah, because you were not giving anyone poop privacy. And then the final question is, if your son unironically told you he was an alpha male, what would you do? And what I would do is I would challenge him to a mixed martial artist. I would open up an octagon in my backyard and I would challenge my son to a fight. And if he's a true alpha male, he'll be able to defeat me, the ultimate alpha male. in an actual fist fight, or but I that I would obviously do. I would obviously do this when he's an adult and not a child or a teenager. Um, yeah, the moral of this is that you got to learn your children's. You got to teach your children's, put them in their place if they're talking about being alpha males or using bathrooms. They're walking in on the bathroom stall on you. Um, Other than that, yeah, if you have a question for the Planet Jerf podcast, I would suggest emailing jerf.thesalsa@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe I will read your question out live on the air, and give you a piece of advice. And then maybe you can implement that advice into your own life, and it will result in great success for you. Um, maybe that's the moral of the story, is participate more in the things, in the opportunities that you're given. You never know where you may end up. So with that, that ends the this episode of the Planet Jerk podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will surely be riveting. Peace out.